Good morning, Celebration Spiritual Center. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Let us stand as we open with prayer this morning. Our prayer champion, Vanessa, will lead us in prayer.
Yes. I invite everyone to get still as we take a deep breath in. And exhale. We release any lingering thoughts and feelings, and we bring ourselves to the here and now. And I am here and now knowing that there is one mind, one presence, one power, one creator of all that is life and living. We call you by many names, but we know that you are the one, the origin. You are everything and anything that I can name and well beyond. Mother, Father, God, I am knowing that this power, this presence, this wisdom is operating at all times through all of creation. Through all of creation. I am knowing that this power, this presence, this wisdom is individualized through everything that I can see and experience, including my own self. I am knowing this body, I'm knowing this mind, I'm knowing this presence as fully united and originating from the one. And so as there is nothing lacking from origin, there is nothing lacking here with me. There is nothing lacking in my brother or in my sister. There is nothing lacking in any part of life that I can possibly be engaging with. For full provision is here and now. The blueprint is operating here and now. The divine harmony is operating at all time, at all place. It always has.
Right now, the past is gone, the future is yet to come, and we are here now, yes, yes? So let's celebrate. I can feel my feet on the ground. I am in the present moment now. What a joyful place I found. Here in the present moment now. I am here now. I am here now. And it feels so good. I am here now. Leaving my worries at the door, opening to more love and joy. Celebrating now. We're in the present moment now. Here we are. Let's take a breath. We sing, I breathe in, I breathe out. I'm in the present moment now. This is how we get present. When life gets crazy, if our mind feels scattered, bring your attention to your breath and take a deep breath in. Then you can affirm these words. Here in the present, problems seem so small. Here in the present, all my giants fall. Here in the present, problems seem so small. Oh, here in the present, all my giants fall.
Hearing it and love seeing you. It feels like it's been forever since we've been together. Right? It hasn't been, but it feels that way. Well, I'm Pastor Yolanda. On behalf of myself and Pastor Greg, welcome, welcome, welcome to Celebration Spiritual Center, where we celebrate the magnificence of God in you, as you, all around you. There is nothing but God. And it is so good. It is so good because it breathes right where you breathe. It didn't skip over you and just land on your neighbor and say that they were the goodness of God. It woke up with you this morning and said that you were the goodness of God. And if anywhere in your mind you are holding some idea that you are less than, lacking, unworthy of being this goodness of God, why don't we do something together? Why don't we just let it go right now? Let go of your ideas of sin, because in the mind of God, it created you sinless. Take that in. It created you sinless. It didn't change its mind. It doesn't hold on to what you hold on to. So why don't you join God and let go of those things that are no longer serving you? At CSC, we believe that everything is spiritual, and that includes your cell phones. So what I need you to do is spiritualize your cell phone. Well, what does that mean, Pastor Yolanda? That means put your cell phone on vibrate. But if something moves you, touches you, put it out there on Facebook and Twitter. A Course in Miracles says that all minds are joined. That means that whatever impacts you has the potential, the possibility to impact another. So put it out there. Let people know where you are, not just where you're seated, but where you've checked in consciousness, okay? And it's that time of the year, and I think about this because when we were in the process of planning CSC, it was around this time we began to think about it seriously. And we were saying yes to this vision that we're currently co-creating when there was not a soul in sight, but Pastor Greg and I. And I realized that we wanted to create a place that felt like home. We said it. When you walked into this place, you would never, ever be a visitor. That's too stuffy for us. If anything, you walk into our home, you're a guest. You walk into our home, you're a guest. And when you come back, you're family. First time you come to CSC, you're a guest. When you come back, you're family. So, if we have any first-time guests, just stand briefly so we can acknowledge you. Just stand briefly. And remember, first time you come to CSC, you're a what? Yes. When you come back, you're what? Family. All right, let's all stand and greet my family. We are a family, like a giant tree, branching out towards the sky. We are a family, we know so much more than just you and I. We are a family, like a giant tree, growing stronger, growing wiser. We are growing free. We are our
We are one big, beautiful family. So I have a question for you. Have you ever had the experience of wanting an answer or wanting some guidance or wanting a sign for what's next or what you should be doing, and it comes in the seemingly most unexpected way? You sit down on the subway and the advertisement on the subway is exactly what you needed to see or hear, or just reflects what you were already marinating on. Or you walk into the bank and you get into this random conversation with someone and the word that they speak is exactly what you needed to hear. Anybody ever had that experience? It's interesting that source, God, can use anything to speak to us. Why not you? If God can use that stranger that you spoke to encourage you, to inspire you, to give you some insight or direction, if God can use a billboard sign or a sign on the subway or a random song, why not you? And so this song is a prayer to be used. Because if God can use anything, I know that God can use me. If God can use anything, I know God can use you. And all that is required is your receptivity to say, here I am, I'm available. Use me. There's a call for love. Everywhere we see out in the world, the injustice, the discrimination, the hatred, all of the foolishness, it's a call for love. And love can only be experienced in, through, and as each and every one of us. So we say yes to God as love to express through us. If you can use anything, you can use me. You can use anything, Lord, you can use me. Take my hands, Lord, and my feet. Touch my heart, Lord, speak through me. If you can use anything, Lord, you can use me. Soul 21, can we sing that? If you can use
anything, Lord, you can use me.
I just look back in my mind and I think about all of the different things that have been used to inspire me, to encourage me. So I want to be used in the same way.
Take my hands, Lord, and my feet.
Touch my heart.
Touch my heart, Lord, speak through me.
If you can use anything.
You can use anything, Lord, you can use me.
3 parts. If you can use anything.
You can use anything, Lord, you can use me.
I make myself available.
You can use anything, Lord, you can use me.
I hear the call of love.
Take my hands, Lord, and my feet.
Touch my heart.
Touch my heart, Lord, speak.
You can use anything.
Anything, Lord,
You can use me. We're going to sing that again, and feel free to join in. If you can use anything,
Lord, you can use me.
here I am, here I am.
Use anything, Lord, you can use me.
The world needs so much love, so take my hands,
Lord, and my feet.
touch my heart.
Lord, speak through me.
You can use.
Anything, Lord,
I'm going to stay right there. You can use anything. Anything.
Lord, you can use me.
I make myself available.
Use anything, Lord, you can use me.
It just requires our yes. Take my hands and my feet.
Take my hands, Lord, and my feet.
Touch my heart.
Touch my heart, Lord, speak.
Take my hands.
Take my hands, Lord, and my feet.
Touch my heart.
Touch my heart, Lord, speak.
All that I am.
My hands, Lord, and
My gifts, my skills, my talents, my abilities. I bring them here right now. Right now. Take my hands, take my hands, and my feet, touch my heart, speak through me. I'm bringing all that I am, all that I have, I'm making it available. Oh, take me up, take my hands, and my feet, touch my heart. Oh, take my hands, and my feet, touch my heart. Take me up, take me up. Oh, I'm available, just as I am, just as I am. Nothing needs to be added, nothing needs to be added. I'm available to use my love, to use for good, to use for peace. Make myself available. You can use
anything, Lord, you can use me.
If you can use
anything, Lord, you can use me.
I'd like you to just consider all of the things, all of the anythings that have been used in your life, all of the anythings that have spoken to you, all of the anythings that have encouraged you. You can be used in the very same way, in the very same way, in the very same way. When you see what's going on in this world, and when it causes you dismay, when it causes you not to feel good, that's the call within you. The call for you as you are right now. Nothing needs to be added. But as you are right now, life is seeking to express through you, to be good through you, love through you, to be peace through you, to be a loving word through you, to be an encouraging word through you, to be a demonstration, to be a lighthouse, pointing someone to the way that they too can be healed, that they too can be successful, that they too can change their lives, that they too can change their minds. Anything, yeah. Oh. I make myself available. Here I am, just as I am. Here I am, just as I am. I make myself available. That's all that life ever asks. That's the only requirement. It's for you to bring yourself as you are and say, use me. If you can use anything, you can use anything. So it is. So it is. So it is. Thank you, God.
morning, Celebration. Good morning. My name is Jen, and I am so very happy to be celebrating with you today. Yes. One thing you'll learn about CSC is that our vision, mission, and purpose guide everything that we do. The vision. Celebration Spiritual Center is a God experience that turns on the heart, mind, and soul of the world. A God experience is the realization of oneness that transcends material sense. Our mission and purpose is to awaken the world to the presence of God within and all around us. To celebrate this truth as one family. To embody unconditional love. To equip humanity to live our greatest lives. And to serve all creation. The centering thought and song for meditation this month is, All is Well. All is well. December message series is What Christmas Means to Me. The holiday season is a time that brings about many emotions. Some people feel incredibly alone during this time of year, while others feel immense joy and connection. Some are worried if they have enough money for presents, while others are worried if they have enough money to eat this month. For some, this is a deeply religious time, and while others could care less about Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. It is okay to laugh. Meaning plays an important role in how we navigate every aspect of life, including the holiday season. This month, we will take inspiration from popular Christmas songs to support us in creating a meaning that heals, liberates, and shines a light wherever there is darkness. Pastor Greg's topic today is Give Love on Christmas Day. It's time for your CSC news and updates. Save the dates for Celebrate New Year's Eve 2019 at CSC. Bring your friends and family to CSC for a special New Year celebration here on Tuesday, December 31st from 7 to 8:30 p.m. and doors open at 6:30. Remember, we will not hold Sunday service on December 29th in observance of the holiday season. Reminder, the annual holiday drive is going on now through next Sunday. Last year, our community showed up and showed out. So we're joining with Borough President Eric Adams again to collect holiday gifts for children living in family homeless shelters in Brooklyn. Please bring new books and pajamas for children's ages 1 through 13 to CSC today and next Sunday, December 15th. Not in the area? You can mail your items. You can mail them to Celebration Spiritual Center, 144 Spencer Street, Suite 409, Brooklyn, New York, 11205. Mailed items must arrive no later than Saturday, December 14th of 2019. Now, CSC, home for the holidays, celebration is now coming. Join us for the weekend service followed by annual holiday-themed gathering on Sunday, December 22nd, and get into the holiday spirit with a hot drink and sweet treat. Yeah. Want to volunteer for the Home for the Holidays? You go to www.celebration.org/register and sign up for either Saturday the 21st or Sunday the 22nd, and more details will follow. And remember your spiritual growth in your year-end giving. Support the mission and vision of Celebration Spiritual Center before the end of 2019. All donations are tax deductible. The coffee has not kicked in. Tax deductible to the extent allowed by law. In order for your contribution to qualify, you must make a donation by December 31st, 2019. So go to www.celebration.org/give and give what feels good. Start your day by knowing the truth of who and whose you are. PG, PY, and the prayer champions pray with us and for us every Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. Start your day by knowing the truth of who and whose you are. Call details can be found at the host table, on our website, and social media. Connect with us this Wednesday and advance confidently into your day. Text to give. It's fast, easy, and secure. You text your dollar amount to 347-744-9500 and then follow the prompts. Remember, a $10 donation is minimum. And that number again, 347-744-9500. Try it out today. Now, just a few housekeeping reminders. No food and drink is allowed in the sanctuary except for water. However, please make sure that water is covered. And also, no audio or video recording is allowed during services. I'd like to thank you again, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, Jen. I just wanted to reiterate, we are definitely in the holiday season. And I saw as I was walking back into the sanctuary that people have already started to deposit their gifts for the holiday drive, and so that's so important. I'm excited about that, and the children will benefit from your love and your giving. And it's almost time for Home for the Holidays, so please make sure if you're able and available to sign up to volunteer, please do so. This year's celebration will be held here in the sanctuary. We are changing our theme and working with the space that we have to bring you a nice, different surprise this year. I love you all so much. We're doing things slightly different for the Home for the Holidays, but it's still going to be a beautiful event, a beautiful time to gather, a beautiful time to enjoy each other's company. And then after we're done, you can go out and have brunch wherever you choose. Get together and do so. So we'll be having a hot drink and a sweet treat and a beautiful surprise. So please plan to join us, okay? And volunteer, we need your help. All right, thank you. As Jen shared with us, our meditation theme this month is also the song for the month. And I want to share with you a little bit of moving past your resistance about what you think needs to happen and allowing Source to be Source. Because in my mind, I was like, it's December. I want to do a December meditation with a December Christmas song. And nothing was working. And so I said, what is the message for the holiday in a time in our country where things seems to be so awry, where we're all scrambling to make way in provision and bring ourselves to a place of peace? What could the gift be for the holiday? What could the thought that permeates everything we do be for the holiday? And where is our energy focused for the holiday? Knowing, practicing, living from all is well. Sometimes it feels like all is not well. But from the place and the perspective of that beautiful soul that you are, it knows the truth that you are, and it says all is well. No matter what you're experiencing right now, and I know from experience, it feels like it will never end, but it is temporary. So we bring our vibration, our energy, our love to an understanding what all is well means for us. So that's what our meditation and our gift to each other this holiday season is. No matter where you are, no matter what the external world is showing you, the internal world says and can say, all is well. So we get to practice this truth in our meditative time, allowing our bodies to relax into the knowingness that all is well. See, all is well releases the anxiety that the body is holding. When all is well is married with the breath, everything begins to relax. When all is well becomes the way in which you vibrate, your vision becomes clear. When all is well becomes the energy in which you interact, harmony permeates. So as we always say, you can study all these teachings, but if you're not living these teachings, if you're not experiencing these teachings, it's just information. So today, let's practice the vibration of all is well. And in your mind, when you know something is well, you kind of relax into, right? Let's close our eyes. feet to the floor. And if you're holding anything on your lap, go ahead and release that. We don't want to constrict the flow of all as well. And we allow our back to rest against the chair. You see, the chair is that physical representation of God holding you. The chair never worries, it just supports. And from this place of surrendering our weight to the chair, our physical weight, our emotional weight, we let it all go now. And we bring our feet to the floor. And we imagine at the bottom of our feet we connect and ground down to the core of the earth and beyond. The feet relax, yet you feel an energy collecting underneath the feet. And now that energy begins to flow up the ankles. Relax the ankles. Give permission for the energy to now flow up the calves and shins. Relax the calves and shins. Energy flows across the knees. Relax the knees. Energy travels across the thighs. Relax the thighs. This energy gathers in the hips. We relax the hip sockets and allow joy home. And now in your mind, imagine energy collecting at the base of the spine. And activating the root chakra. Traveling up each chakra, activating, balancing, opening. Energy travels up our spine. Our throat opens. Energy travels out the crown of our head and gathers above us. And now it makes its descent down through the crown, crossing the third eye, down the throat, crossing the shoulders, and down the arms. We make way and room for the heart to open at the center of our chest. And in that space of the heart chakra, we imagine a ball of white light. On each inhale, it expands. And at each exhale, it draws back into the center. Now imagine in that center a green light. A healing light. Place in that light anything that doesn't feel well. And it is consumed by healing. We just breathe here. In through the lower belly, breathe in, expanding. Hold it there. Open the mouth and release. Inhale up through the heart, now making its way to the altar of love. Hold it there. And release. Full breath all the way in and up. Hold it there. Open the mouth and release. This time, inhale all the way up through the heart. Light, healing, feeling the body. Close the lips, exhale through the nose. This will be our breath for the remainder of our meditation. Full breath in all the way up through the heart. Exhaling through the nose. Each inhale expands, taking in the energy to your left and your right. Each exhale draws more love into you. With each deep breath, we signal the body it's okay to relax. With each round of breath, we signal our mind it's okay to relax. And as we sing these words, you just enjoy the flow of all is well in and out. Knowing all is well, we sing these words easily and effortlessly while you relax in the flow. All is well. All is well. All is well. In the arms of God. All is well. with our eyes still closed. We remember this feeling that we gave ourselves, this connection in quiet time, this knowingness that all is well. All is well in our home. All is well in our body. All is well in our finances, in our career. We leave behind any worry, fear, and doubt. Our heart has healed it now, and all is well. Scan your body one last time, letting go of any lingering unease. And start to bring yourself back now, slowly. Maybe wiggle the fingers and the toes, signaling to the body it's time to return. Now bring your palms together at heart center, lightly pressing the thumbs into the sternum, connecting to that heart healing power. And bow your chin to your fingertips, honoring the time you gave yourselves and one another. Slowly flutter the eyes open, taking in a point on the floor in front of you. Inhale, raise the chin, raise the gaze. Namaste.
This knowingness that all is well. This place of deep silence that we just contacted so easily and effortlessly. Here in our waking life, we now have the opportunity to trust it. We now have the opportunity to take that place that we just contacted, which is God, which is the all that is, the ground of all being, and trust it with our whole heart, with our whole life. Recognizing that when we trust that power, when we trust that presence, when we trust that guidance, all indeed will be well. When we trust that, miracles and answered prayers are inevitable. When we trust that, healing always takes place. When we trust that, that thing that needs to be transformed will be transformed. And so this song is an affirmation. I will trust you, God, always.
Trust you. I will trust you, God, always with my whole trust you. I will trust you. I will trust you, God, always with my whole heart, with my whole life. I will trust you, God, always. I will trust you. I will trust you. I will trust you, God, always with my whole heart, with my whole life. I will trust you, God, always.
I surrender all. I surrender all. All to Spirit. I surrender. I will trust you, God, always. I will trust you, God. I will trust you always.
I will trust you, God,
With my whole life. I will trust you, God. I will trust you, always. Yes, I will trust you, God. I'm gonna trust you, even when I can't see a way through. I'm gonna trust you, even when I can't figure it out. I will trust you, God. Always. Trust.
trust you, God, always.
So it is. So it is. I define surrender as extraordinary trust. Extraordinary not because it's something that we're unable to do, but because it requires us to operate outside of what seems normal to us. Dr. Martin Luther King famously said that faith is taking the first step even though you don't see the whole staircase. And so when we say, I will trust you, God, always, this is not a need to be able to see the entire staircase. But we recognize that the staircase, or the net, as PY has taught us, is always there. We never have to worry about that. We never have to be concerned about that. But you must be able to take the first step, knowing that as I take the first step, the second will be revealed. As I take the second, the third will be revealed. As I take the third, the fourth, fifth, the sixth will be revealed. Because I trust in this thing. I trust in this foundation of life. This same thing that I trust that when I bite an apple, the wise intelligence that created my being allows my body to take all of the nutrients and take what I need for that apple to satisfy and sustain my body. That same thing that I trust in, the same trust that I put in the bus driver, can you put it in God? The same trust that I put in the pilot, can you put that in God? See, you have the ability to trust. But when you trust the all that is, trust that thing that holds the stars in place. Trust that thing that is the intelligence that causes our earth to spin on its axis in orbit, on time, always, easily and effortlessly. That's what we're trusting in. That's the power. That's the presence. That's the good that we're trusting in. Thank you, Soul 21. That was singing. It's powerful. Well, good morning. Happy Sunday. Happy holidays to everyone. So good to see you all. I echo what PY says. It feels good to be back home. It feels like it was longer than a week, but so good to be back. And so we have a word for you today. I trust that this series brings you joy. It brings me joy because I love Christmas songs. But I also pray that it will meet you where you are and provide what you need to hear in this moment, in this season. And so as you've already heard, the topic for this Sunday's message is Give Love on Christmas Day, inspired by the Motown holiday classic. PY and I were just talking. This song is this year 49 years old, so it'll be 50 years old. Yeah, I know, yeah. It was first recorded and released in 1970 by the Jackson 5. Other Motown artists recorded it. The Temptations recorded it. Johnny Gill recorded it at one point. It's been recorded by Yolanda Adams and John Legend and Coco from SWV. Everybody else. New Edition. Like so many people have recorded this song. And it's beloved, and I think it's definitely a holiday classic. And I just want to highlight a bit. I'm sure many of you know the song, but I want to highlight the chorus of the song because the lyrics kind of change up with each chorus, right? Why don't you give love on Christmas Day? Oh, even the man that has everything would be so happy if you would bring him love on Christmas Day. No greater gift is there than love. The next chorus says, why don't you give love on Christmas Day? Oh, the man on the street and the couple upstairs all need to know there's someone who cares. Give love on Christmas Day. No greater gift is there than love. In the third chorus, why don't you give love on Christmas Day? Every little child on Santa's knee has room for your love underneath his or her tree. Give love on Christmas Day. There's no greater gift than love. And that's a beautiful sentiment, right? Because what the writers are really setting up is this idea, it starts people making lists, buying special gifts, right? So it immediately starts to set the scene of holiday time, and we can see the hustle and the bustle of the city. And of course, the writers of this song were residents of Detroit, so we can think about, moving around and about in downtown Detroit and doing shopping. And so we have that image. All of that imagery starts to happen. And while people are doing all of these things and moving and doing things and baking and cooking and going to parties and doing all the things that we do for the holiday season, the writer is asking us, instead of doing all of that stuff, why don't you give love on Christmas Day? Because even the man that has everything, Bloomberg, Trump, style. Okay. Would be so happy if you would bring even them love on Christmas Day. No greater gift is there than love. And of course, we know this is a beautiful spiritual idea. It permeates every spiritual tradition. It permeates every faith. This idea that there is nothing greater, there's nothing higher, there's nothing wider, there's nothing more expansive, there's nothing that is all-encompassing like love, for we understand that God itself is love. And so while the message of this song is timeless and it will be played countless times throughout this season, and I believe that we still don't understand a thing about giving. See, during this time of year, many of us are focused on giving. Yes, yes? We have lists of presents to buy. We may be baking pies and sweet treats for friends and loved ones. We may be contributing a dish to the office holiday party or potluck. The Salvation Army is out in full force right now, collecting money, ringing that annoying bell. And there are lots of other charities and organizations that are collecting money and gifts as we are doing our holiday drive for those that need our support in this time of year. This is a time of giving, and we're focused on giving, but I say we don't understand giving. And why do I say that? We don't understand giving because countless people will go in debt this month buying gifts they can't afford. We don't understand giving because countless people, as they go in debt, will then spend the first half of 2020 paying off what they did in 2019. Some people will simply overspend, and so when we get into the new year, you won't have enough money to pay Con Ed. Some will worry themselves sick because they don't have the money they think they should have, or because they don't have the money that they used to have to spend in the way that they used to, or buy the lavish gifts in the way that they used to, and so they worry themselves sick. Some will simply try to prove their love and their worth through their giving. Hello, somebody? I mean, I've been in all of them categories at some point in my life. And so if the words of this song ring true, give love on Christmas Day, no greater gift is there than love, who should we be giving love to? Who should we be giving love to? See, the thing is, none of these ways of being that I just shared are loving. Overspending, that's not loving. Going into debt to buy gifts, that's not loving. Trying to prove your worthiness through gifts is not loving. Worrying yourself sick about what you can and cannot afford this year is not loving. Starting off 2020 by paying for choices you made in 2019 is not loving. You know what it is? It's sacrifice. The song didn't say sacrifice on Christmas Day. And that's what we do. These ways of being that are habitual, that are learned and common. We've been operating from the perspective of sacrifice on Christmas Day, but the song says give love on Christmas Day. And so again, I asked, if the words of this song ring true, give love on Christmas Day, no greater gift is there than love, who should we give love to? Now, our elder brother Jesus laid out a beautiful principle. Lays out a principle that tells us and shows us exactly what we should be doing. In Matthew 22, 37 through 39, we read this. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the greatest and first commandment. And a second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. Now, the scene here in the text was important because the Pharisees were trying to trip Jesus up, right? This man, Jesus, was walking around healing and teaching and doing all kinds of wonderful things, and they didn't like it because he wasn't following their rules. He wasn't following the law as they understood it. And so they asked him, because he's supposed to be a rabbi and a teacher himself, they asked him, what is the greatest commandment? And so he immediately said, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind, echoing the Torah. This is the greatest and first commandment. But then he goes on, and the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. I summarize it simply this way. Love God, love you, love people. See, it's interesting because I think as much as we talk about the golden rule, and you can find the golden rule in every spiritual tradition as well, we forget something that's interesting about that, right? Because the golden rule, as we read it here, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. But there's an assumption within that statement. You got to love yourself before you can love your neighbor. Yes, yes? So that's why I summarize it simply. Love God, love you, love people. So let's just look a little bit at these aspects. Love God. What does that mean? Well, first we must understand that God is love itself. God is the source of love. You cannot love yourself or anyone else if you are not first aware of, focused on, and connected to love. This is why we must love with our heart, our mind, and our soul, with all that is within us. We must know, we must cherish, we must appreciate and recognize this love, this God, this source, this divine intelligence that's within us. This is the first part, because everything flows from there. You have to recognize, if you will, that there's a reservoir of love that doesn't run out. That has to be recognized before we can even love ourselves, and definitely before we can love other people. And then we go to love you. This is the connection that teaches and enables us to love ourselves. This is what fills up our cup. You've heard me say before, an empty cup feeds no one. And so we must learn to give from our overflow. I was talking a little bit about this in 90 Days to Greatness the other night in our class on Monday night. Because what I was thinking about and meditating on and really just thinking about in a different way is that many of us have learned and developed the overflow, right? We lived our lives where we were giving people our last financially, emotionally, mentally, physically, whatever it may be, right? Resentment showed up, all of those things. And we realized we don't want to live that way anymore, so we started giving to ourselves, right? And we started loving ourselves, and we got to the point where we developed this overflow, right? But what happens, we develop the overflow, and then we go out and give, and it all runs out again because we forgot to keep depositing while we were also giving. This is why, again, love God is the first thing with your heart, mind, and soul. So even as you are choosing to love yourself and give to yourself, you must make sure that you are plugged in and connected to the source of love. Otherwise, that love, even that you give to yourself, will seemingly run out. So as we give from our overflow, there's a quote I love from, you all know Joel Osteen. His father says, keep the barrel full and dip off the top. Right? And that's how we must learn to live our life, to constantly keep our barrel full. So again, what does that look like? That looks like loving God. And what does loving God look like? That doesn't mean, oh, Lord God, I love you. You're so amazing, right? Because God ain't on no mountaintop. What it means is meditation. Because in meditation, we contact that thing, prayer. Because in prayer, we are affirming and knowing that this thing is right here and right now, always available. It neither comes nor goes. Through 5 minutes of reading in the morning, reading truth, reading something that's inspirational, reading something that's powerful, reading something that reminds you that you are bigger than your circumstances or what you see, taste, touch, or smell. This is why we teach the daily practice of 5-5-5. 5 minutes of silence, 5 minutes of reading, and then 5 minutes of affirmative journaling. Writing in the present tense, it could be a gratitude journal, or writing in the present tense about the life that you choose to create and desire. I'm so happy and grateful now that, ... And begin to write in the present tense about the life that you're living. These are the ways that we love God. Has nothing to do with praising some being, imaginary being on a mountain. But then we love ourselves. And so out of that connection, out of that awareness, when you come to understand who and what God is, that God is love itself, who and what God is, that God is wisdom and intelligence, who and what God is power, not powerful, but all the power there is to be, do, or have anything on this planet and beyond. When you realize and recognize that you're connected to that, how dare you walk through the world as though you were unworthy? How dare you accept anything that would reflect unworthiness? How dare you make choices and decisions like you're not free? Yes. So this is how we then begin to love ourselves, because we understand, wait, I know who and what God is, and I'm connected to it. And so now I'm going to use my heart. I'm going to use my mind and my soul to love myself. And finally, we love people. Because now that we have done these things, now that we have filled our cup, and now that we have this overflow that is just flowing and flowing, one, it's inevitable. You can't help but help people when you got more than enough. It's really easy. Yes, yes? Yes. Isn't it really easy to give to somebody when you have more than enough? Yes. Whether that's your time, whether it's your mental capacity, or whether it's your finances, it's real easy to give to folk when you have more than enough. It's just natural. Now you're in a position to give meaningfully. Now you're in the position to give without pain. Now you're in the position to give with ease, to give what feels good, as we always say here at CSC. Now you're in the position, you're able to give with joy And now you're able to give without resentment. See, resentment is interesting, and I know we've all felt it, right? You ever been in that place? You gave and they didn't say thank you. Or somebody asked you for something and you went to your good friend, can you believe what they asked me? Anybody ever been there? You couldn't believe, you just had to tell, can you believe that they asked me for X, Y, and Z? Well, here's the thing. When you're in resentment, it's a clear indicator that you skipped steps 1 and 2. It's the only reason. Because you forgot, you weren't loving God. In other words, acknowledging and remembering and knowing that this love, it's an unending flow. It's an unending reservoir of good, right? And then you weren't connected to it, remembering that that's who and what you are. And so by doing that, you fill up your cup to the point that it's overflowing. So you couldn't even access resentment when somebody asked you for your more than enough. You couldn't even feel that. Again, and understanding, as we've all been in that place of when you have more than enough time. You ever been in line, you have more than enough time and somebody else is rushing and like, oh, please, can I just, and you're like, yeah. Now, have you ever been in a place where you were rushing and then somebody said, can I get in line in front of you? And so I've found that when I'm in that place, no matter what, because in truth, there's never really a time for us to rush. In truth, if we played it back, we could look at all the ways that we've actually created that situation. And so what I do when I'm in that moment, I remind myself, I said, I'm on God's time. There's no need for rushing, no need to cut in line. I am on God's time. That's what I affirm to myself in those moments. And I find that time begins to act in beautiful and miraculous ways. And all of a sudden time begins to shift, or the commitment that I needed to make shifts in a way that supports me. Yes. Miracles and answered prayers. So the other thing about this, when we hear this, love God, love you, love people, some people feel or have a hard time with this because it seems selfish. Anybody kind of feel like, wait, love me before people? Give to me before people? Some people, it feels selfish, it feels unloving. And so consider this. Do you think, and this is just, imaginative, I'm anthropomorphizing our phones. Do you think your cell phone would be considered selfish or unloving if it was unable to perform the task that you needed to perform at the level that you needed to perform when it only has 5% battery life? Yes. And it's funny because, our phones are designed, they're like, I can't do it. They start going into low power mode and start shutting stuff off. Right? The phone starts conserving, like, I don't care that you want these emails. I don't care that you try to play this game right now or watch this video on YouTube. But see, this is what our sacrifice that we incorrectly call giving looks and feels like. We're operating on 5% battery life with nowhere to recharge anytime soon. And so what do? We just say, I'll just figure it out. I'm working at 5%, but I'll just figure it out. I'll just push through. I'll just suffer. I'll just make these choices and go into debt and just suffer in the new year. It'll be all right. I just hope and pray that people will see how much I really love them, because they'll see I'm operating on 5%. So they'll know that I did this anyway when I only had 5%, not even enough for myself, let alone enough for anybody else. We just keep doing the same damn thing over and over and over again, thinking that somehow this year it won't be painful. And so I want to offer you something. The beauty of this song, Give Love on Christmas Day. No greater gift is there than love. It's true. It's why it's a Christmas classic. That's why almost 50 years later we are here talking about it right now. There's a lesson in A Course in Miracles, lesson 108, and it says, to give and to receive are one in truth. I will receive what I am giving now. And the only way that we can experience the truth of that is, again, this idea of step 1 and 2. Love God, love you. Then we love people. The only way we can come to know that know this truth, that giving and receiving are one in truth, and that I will receive what I am giving now, is to first give that very thing that we want to give to others. We must give it to ourselves first. So I invite you to think about in this moment, and you can close your eyes. And you find this in the lesson as well. It invites us to close our eyes for 5 minutes and think what you would hold out to everyone to have it yours. If giving and receiving are one in truth, and I will receive what I am giving now, what is really the heart of what it is that you're seeking to give? That present that you want to give, however expensive or inexpensive it is, that you want to wait in line for, or you stay up till midnight to get the right deal online, or whatever it may be. What is the reason? What is the thing underneath it that you're really seeking to give? What is the connection that you're trying to create? What is the thing that you're trying to express? Give that thing to yourself first right now. Whatever that thing is that you're seeking to create or bake, whatever that dish is and the desire. Of course, you want people to enjoy it and you want them to celebrate your amazing culinary skills. Can you celebrate your amazing culinary skills right now? Can you celebrate yourself right now? Because I will receive what I am giving now. Think of the person, the woman or the man who appears to have everything. Whatever you would give to them, that love that we all need, can you give it to yourself right now? The person on the street or the couple upstairs. That love that you desire to give to them. That support that you desire to give to them. That service that you desire to give to them. Love, serve, and support yourself right now. I will receive what I am giving now. Think of every child in the world. To be more specific, let's think of the children that are criminally detained at the border right now. Before we can even give to those babies who need our love and support, who need our voice, first we must give to ourselves. I will receive what I am giving now. To give and to receive are one in truth. And so as the text guide says, you might say, for instance, to everyone, I offer peace of mind. And as you offer everyone peace of mind, you are offering yourself peace of mind. To everyone, I offer gentleness. What would it feel like to be gentle with yourself, no matter what your bank account balance or budget is this year? As I offer everyone gentleness, I offer myself gentleness. To everyone, I offer quietness. To everyone, I offer safety. To everyone, I offer ease. To everyone, I offer freedom. To everyone, I offer liberation. To everyone, I offer light that dispels all darkness. I will receive what I am giving now, because to give and to receive are one in truth. So as we choose to give love on Christmas Day, as we hear this declaration, as we hear this invitation to give love on Christmas Day, recognizing that there is no greater gift than love, we must first give that great gift to ourselves. Because as we give that great gift to ourselves, we are then filling our cup up, filling it up to overflowing. And out of that overflow, we give easily and effortlessly. We give in joy and as joy. We give what feels good while feeling good. And I invite everyone to just take a deep breath in. We exhale. And we say amen. Ashe. And so it is. So it is. Thank you, God.
And our hearts are full of what we have given out and also what we have received. And maybe hearing this message, you realize that there is something that you didn't do. You might be feeling a little bad about how you lived before. But the greatest gift you can give yourself in this moment is forgiveness. Forgiveness for living in a belief of unworthiness. Forgiveness for acting from a place of fear, doubt, and worry. Give yourself that healing of forgiveness, and then let it radiate out from you to those that are in need of forgiveness. We're always giving and receiving. And today we're going to keep giving. This week we're going to keep giving what we've already received. Love, harmony, peace of mind, and forgiveness of ourselves and for others. There's no greater gifts than these that we give, for we give them from a place of love. Thank you, BG.
Thank you. So in this moment, it is time to prepare for financial giving. And I don't think there's much that I need to say because it's really in alignment with the sermon. But if there's anyone that needs an envelope, or if you need a pen, please just raise your hand. Our ushers are so very happy to serve you. For those that need the number again for texting to give, it's 347-744-9500. Text your dollar amount, follow the prompts. The minimum donation is $10 for text to give. And if you'd like to give online, you can do that easily and effortlessly. If you're streaming, you should see the info there on the page. But go to our website, celebrationsc.org. S as in spiritual, C as in center.org, and scroll down to the giving section. And again, give what feels good. Because we recognize the truth of how giving and receiving works. It's just like planting seeds in the ground. And the way it works, it's not that if I plant a seed of $100, then that $100 multiplies. That's not how it works. It's if I plant $100 with guilt, guilt is what comes back. If I plant because I feel forced to or shamed into doing it, then that's what comes back. So this is why we always say, give what feels good. Give your joy amount. What is your joy amount? You can ask yourself that every Sunday. What is my joy amount today? And then you're depositing joy, and that means what's going to be all up and through your garden? Joy. And this is how the principle of circulation works. And so when we give from that place, when we find our joy amount and give our joy amount, then we can affirm that all the money that I use, returns to me multiplied, in a never-ending cycle, of increase and enjoyment. With that, I call our ushers to come forward. Let's take a joyous offering.
I give my love, more love comes rushing back to me. Thank you. I give my time, more time's available to me. Thank you. I give my treasure, doors are opening for me. As I give and receive, it's all coming right back to me. I give my love, more love comes rushing back to me. Thank you. I give my time, more time's available to me. Thank you. I give my treasure, doors are opening for me. As I give and receive, yes, it's all coming right back to me. I give my love, more love comes rushing back to me. Thank you. I give my time, more time's available to me. Thank you. I give my treasure, doors are opening for me. As I give and receive, it's all coming right back to me. 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 Coming right back to me.
today for the givers and for the gifts. As we extend and open our hearts, we know that right where we are, love is. Love is expressed, love is manifest, love is extended out beyond even what we can see. Our vibration joins with the vibration of everyone else. And we walk in love, we talk in love, we sing and move and hug and live in love. From this place of knowing, it's easy to give and to receive. And we release these words back into the mind that created us in love and as love. And together we say, amen. Amen. Ashe. Ashe. So it is.
So it is. Listen again, y'all. I give my love, more love comes rushing back to me.
I give my love, more love comes rushing back to me. Thank you.
I give my time, more time is available to me. I give my treasure, and doors are opening for me. As I give, I receive. It's coming right back to me. Just as easy as we breathe. Right back to me. Oh, right on back to me. It's coming right. It's coming right. It's coming right on back to me. Let's stand, everybody. So again, as a reminder for our holiday schedule, we have Home for the Holidays is on the 22nd. It's always a beautiful event. It's always a packed event. Please invite your friends and family. On the 29th, we will not have service, the Sunday following Christmas. And then we have our New Year's Eve service on December 31st right here, Tuesday night, 7 p.m.
And in the spirit of giving, remember that we are in the midst of our holiday drive so that we can take this love to the children and just imagine them clothed in warmth and love on Christmas, right? So bring your new books, your new pajamas, and bring them next Sunday. We will make sure that they get to the borough president.
Yes.
And they get to have something to unwrap, some beauty, some love, some vibration of love from us, right? So please bring those. And next Sunday is God Talk Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
I just remembered that because we're off a week, okay?
Absolutely.
So we'll be here next Sunday, so join us for that. But if something has come up for you today, somewhere where you're still holding on to some sacrifice or some resentment or some I don't know if I'm worthy to receive in this way, some doubt or some fear, anything like that is unlike love, write it down and leave it on the altar in the back of the room. Leave your worries there and walk out of here. Our prayer champion Nessa will pray over it all week. She will pray in the affirmative because that's how we pray. We do not beg, barter, bargain, or beseech God. We don't do oh please God. We know that this loving presence is alive and well in us and in our lives, and we speak that truth. If you need that support this week, I might even write something down there.
Yes.
But if you need that, leave it on the altar. And when you do that, when you walk out of here, leaving it behind, what do we say every Sunday?
All things are possible.
Now, all things are possible. Now every little thing
sunshine. Now everything is possible. Because I know who I am, and I know who I am. Now all things are because I know who I am, and I know who I
Love you. See you next week.
What's your bad day?